Have you ever stood by the ocean and wondered how deep it really goes? We call it the sea, but that's almost an insult, because what you see at the surface is only a whisper of what's below. Down there lies another world, a world that swallows light, bends metal, and keeps secrets older than time. We've sent people to the moon, but fewer humans have touched the bottom of our own planet. So, friends, buckle up, because we're going on a journey, not upward, but down, to discover just how deep the ocean really is. Let's start with something simple. More than 70% of Earth is covered by ocean, but if you flattened every mountain and trench on the planet, you'd find that water would still cover Earth by more than 2 miles deep. That's right. If Earth were smooth like a marble, it would be completely underwater. And even though it's 2025, we've mapped Mars more precisely than our own ocean floor. Why? Because it's that hard to reach. Imagine yourself floating on the surface. The sunlight warms your face. You can see for miles. But as you dive, the light begins to fade. Blue deepens to black, and sound becomes muffled, like you've entered a dream. We'll travel downward together, one layer at a time. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at the ocean the same way again. At 40 meters, we hit the limit for most divers. The sunlight still glimmers, but your lungs feel heavy and your heartbeat slows. The pressure is 5 times stronger than what you feel on land. Most of the fish here are familiar. Coral dwellers, turtles, small sharks. But go any deeper, and you enter a place humans were never meant to be. By 100 meters, you've already passed the resting place of giants. The Lusitania, the Andrea Doria, the forgotten ships of war and trade. They once ruled the surface, but now they rest in silence, swallowed by salt and time. It's humbling, isn't it, that everything we build, even the greatest ships, eventually becomes food for the sea. Below 200 meters, sunlight fades to darkness. This is the Twilight Zone. It's neither day nor night, a ghostly realm of dim blue light. Here, creatures begin to glow. A jellyfish flashes in pulses like lightning. A squid sends signals through its skin, communicating in light instead of sound. You start to feel it, that eerie stillness, like being on another planet. The deepest any human has ever dived on a single breath of air is 332 meters. At this depth, your lungs shrink to a fraction of their size. Every heartbeat is a fight against pressure. Beyond this point, no human body can survive without technology. From here on, we send only machines and brave souls inside metal coffins. At 1,000 meters, sunlight disappears completely. It's black, total, infinite, eternal darkness. This is the midnight zone, where the only light comes from the creatures themselves. Bioluminescent life dominates here. Anglerfish with glowing lures, shrimp that shoot out flashes like underwater fireworks, and strange drifting jellies that look like galaxies made of glass. Imagine standing in space, but everything around you is alive. Down here, the pressure is almost 3,000 pounds per square inch. That's like having 50 jumbo jets pressing down on your body. And yet, in this crushing dark, life doesn't just survive, it thrives. Sperm whales dive this deep to hunt colossal squid, creatures with eyes the size of dinner plates and tentacles lined with hooks. It's one of nature's greatest unseen battles, giant versus giant, and it happens every single day, in total darkness. By 3,800 meters, we find the wreck of the Titanic, a story frozen in time where rust-eating bacteria have turned its steel into fragile lace. It's eerie to think. A tragedy that once gripped the entire world now lies in silence, in a place where no light or sound can reach. And in 2023, a modern tragedy echoed that same fate. The Titan's submersible implosion, crushed instantly by the very pressure its creators tried to conquer. The ocean doesn't forgive mistakes. At 4,000 meters, we reach the abyssal zone. The temperature here is barely above freezing, no sunlight, no color, no sound. Yet the floor is alive, with ghostly sea cucumbers, translucent octopuses, and fish with heads made of glass, so they can see the faint light above them. At 6,000 meters, we enter the Hadal zone. named after Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. It's a fitting name. The pressure here is 1,000 times greater than on the surface. If you drop Mount Everest into the ocean, its peak would still be underwater. In 2023, scientists recorded a snailfish living at 8,336 meters. Its skin is translucent, its bones soft, its body almost fluid. It shouldn't exist, and yet it does. Down here, evolution rewrites its own rules. No sunlight, no plants, no warmth, only creatures that feed on the slow snow of dead life drifting from above. The deep sea doesn't waste energy. Every move counts. Every flick of a fin is survival. Finally, at 10,000 meters, we reach the Challenger Deep, the deepest known point on Earth. Imagine an elephant standing on your thumbnail. That's the pressure here. Only a few humans have ever visited this place. First in 1960, then James Cameron in 2012, and later the Chinese submersible Fenduji in 2020. They described it as a world without color, without sound, without time. Every moment there feels like standing inside infinity. But here's the part that nobody tells you. Even at 10,000 meters, the ocean might not be over. In 2025, researchers detected microbial DNA below the seafloor, life existing within the rocks themselves. Some scientists believe there are entire ecosystems beneath the crust, living off Earth's heat, not sunlight. If that's true, it means the ocean doesn't just cover our planet, it runs through it. And even today, with AI submersibles, autonomous sonar drones, and the Seabed 2030 project mapping every corner, we've explored only 30% of the ocean floor. That means 70% of our planet remains unseen? Think about that. The unknown doesn't lie in space, it's right here below our feet. Just last year, in 2024, scientists found over 100 new marine species in the Indian Ocean's deep trenches, including a jellyfish that glows in geometric patterns and a crustacean that breathes methane. It's like finding aliens, but they've been here longer than we have. And with climate change melting the polar ice caps, new passages are opening, revealing canyons and underwater mountains we never knew existed. The map of Earth is still changing, right now. We often dream of exploring other worlds, Mars, Europa, Titan, but the truth is we already live beside a world as alien as any moon or planet. The deep sea has volcanoes taller than Everest, creatures that generate their own light, and trenches that could swallow the Himalayas whole. We chase stars while ignoring the galaxies beneath our waves. Why are we so afraid of the ocean? Maybe because it reflects us, our curiosity, our fragility, our insignificance. Every myth, from the Kraken to Atlantis, comes from that primal fear of what lurks below. The deep reminds us that we're guests on this planet, not its owners. And maybe that's why the sea feels endless, because it is. As we speak, new technologies are preparing to dive deeper. AI-controlled drones, nanobot submersibles, and liquid metal pressure pods being designed to reach 12,000 meters by 2030. If they succeed, we might finally see what's beyond Challenger Deep. But the real question is, should we? Every time humanity breaks a barrier, it changes what we thought we knew. And sometimes what we find staring back from the dark changes us. So how deep is the ocean, really? Deeper than numbers can describe, deeper than science can map, deeper than our fears can comprehend. It's not just a part of Earth, it is Earth, the last great frontier, hiding the story of where life began, and perhaps where it will end. Because the deeper we look, the more we realize we've only touched the surface. So next time you stand by the shore, listen to the waves. They're not just water, they're whispers from the deep. Messages from a world that's still waiting to be found. And maybe one day, when we've mapped every trench and measured every abyss, we'll finally understand what the ocean truly is. Not an obstacle, but a mirror, reflecting everything humanity has yet to discover. Because in the end, the greatest mysteries don't lie in the stars above. They wait in the darkness below. If you enjoyed this journey into Earth's hidden depths, hit like, subscribe, and join us as we uncover more mysteries that shape our world. But before you go, ask yourself this. If we still know so little about the ocean, what other secrets could be waiting right beneath our feet.